Explain the concept or basic idea behind lease. A lease is like temporary rental agreement for a resource, granting exclusive access for a set of period. When the lease expires, this resource becomes available for others to use. Leases ensure fairness and prevent conflicts by managing access to shared resource. The key features of a lease, briefly explain each. First is fixed duration. The lease specifies a set time the tenant can live in the property, giving both parties clear expectation. The second is legal agreement. The lease is legally binding contract, meaning both sides must follow its term. Breaking can have legal consequences. Third is payment obligation. The lease states the tenant's responsibility to pay a specific rent amount consistently, providing the landlord with income and the tenant with predictable housing costs. The fourth is property use rights. The lease allows the tenant to use the property for its intended purpose, but emphasizes they don't own it, only have the right to occupy it during the lease term. Lastly is landlord restriction. The lease prevents the landlord from making sudden changes without the tenant's agreement until the lease ends. Likely to happen if the lessee failed to pay the lessor. If the lessee failed to pay the lessor can take legal action to evict the lessee from the property or resource. The lessor may also demand the unpaid rent and additional fees through the court. As a result, the lessee could lose access to the resource and face serious financial and legal consequences.
Did Ms. Ramirez violate the lease agreement by subleasing the property without the consent of Mr. Santos? Ms. Ms. Ramirez broke the lease agreement by renting out part of the property to a friend without getting permission from Mr. Santos. According to Article 1659 of the Civil Code, the lessee is not allowed to sublease any part of the property unless the lessor agrees. By doing this without consent, she violated the contract's term. This action goes to this action goes against the legal requirements of the lease agreement. Is Mr. Santos entitled to rescind the contract or terminate the lease due to breach of terms? Mr. Santos has the right to terminate the lease according to Article 1662 of the Civil Code. Because Ms. Ramirez's actions of subleasing the property without permission is a violation of the lease agreement. This breach gives Mr. Santos the option to dissolve the contract. And also, the sublease could disrupt Mr. Santos' peacefully enjoyment of the property, as protected under Article 1654, which could result in legal consequences for Mr. Ramirez. Mr. Santos has the right to terminate the lease under Article 1662 because Ms. Ramirez violated the term of the lease by subleasing the property without his permission, which is prohibited under Article 1659 of the Civil Code. The unauthorized sublease also disrupted Mr. Santos' right to enjoy the property peacefully. As stated in Article 1654, this gave Mr. Santos the legal ground to take action against Ms. Ramirez for breaching the agreements. What were the key terms of the lease agreement between Mr. Santos and Ms. Ramirez? The lease agreement specified that Ms. Ramirez was allowed to use the space only for her bouquet clothing business, and subleasing was strictly prohibited. The lease term was set for 2 years starting on January 1, 2023, with a monthly rent of 25,000. This condition clearly defined how the property could be used, and any violation of this term, such as subleasing, would be a breach of the agreement. Why did Mr. Santos consider Ms. Ramirez's action a breach of contract? Ms. Ramirez violated the lease agreement by subleasing part of the property without Mr. Santos' consent, which directly broke the lease's clear prohibition on subleasing. This action went against the term of the contract, which explicitly excluded subleasing. As a result, Mr. Santos saw this as breach of this agreement, giving him ground to take action against Ms. Ramirez. What justification did Ms. Ramirez give for subleasing part of the property? Ms. Ramirez argued that her subleasing did not go against the main purpose of the lease because it didn't disrupt the property's intended use. She claims that subleasing actually improved the property's visibility, which she believed would benefit the overall lease. And despite her reasoning, the lease agreement explicitly prohibited subleasing. And this defense did not change the fact that she violated the contract's terms. What was the final ruling of the court and what legal basis supported it? The court ruled in favor of Mr. Santos, allowing him to terminate the lease because Ms. Ramirez violated the contract by subleasing the property without his consent. According to Article 1662 of the Civil Code, a lease can be terminated if the lessee failed to comply with the condition of the agreement. Since subleasing without permission directly breached the lease, the court supported Mr. Santos' decision to end the contract. This ruling emphasizes the importance of adhering to the terms set in the lease agreement. Do you agree with the court decisions? Why or why not? Yes, I agree with the court's decision because it reinforced the importance of adhering to the terms of the lease agreement. The contract clearly prohibited subleasing without the lessor's consent, and upholding this condition protects the rights of the property owner. By supporting Mr. Santos' right to terminate the lease, the court ensures that the rules outlined in the agreement were respected, which helps maintain fairness in lease agreements. In your opinion, was the subleasing of the property a serious violation of the contract? Could it have been resolved without court intervention? Yes, the subleasing was a serious violation of the contract because it went against the explicit terms agreed upon by both parties. The lease clearly stated that subleasing was not allowed without permission, and ignoring this condition undermined the integrity of the agreement. While it could have been resolved without court intervention, this would have required Ms. Ramirez to either discuss the issue with Mr. Santos or ask for consent before subleasing if she had approached him first. They might have come to an understanding, avoiding the need for legal actions. What could Ms. Ramirez have done differently to avoid breaching the contract? Ms. Ramirez could have avoided breaching the contract by first communicating with Mr. Santos and requesting permission to sublease the property. And subleasing was important to her, and she could have asked to amend the lease agreement to include terms that would allow it. By negotiating or seeking approval in advance, she would have respected the agreement and prevented by any legal disputes. Open communication would have allowed both parties to come to an agreement without violating the contract. What lesson does this case teach about the importance of honoring written agreement? This case highlights the critical importance of adhering to the terms of written agreements, as this as they serve as a clear and enforceable record of what both parties have agreed upon. Violating the terms of such agreement, like subleasing without permission, can lead to serious legal consequences, including the loss of property, termination of the lease, and financial liabilities. The case demonstrates that disregarding the rules outlined in written contract can result in disputes that may be costly, and difficult to resolve, emphasizing the needs to honor commitments made in formal agreements. How does Article 1659 of the Civil Code apply to this case? Article 1659 of the Civil Code states that lessee cannot make changes to the property or sublease it without the lessor's consent. In this case, Ms. Ramirez violated this provision when she subleased part of the property to friend without Mr. Santos' permission. Since the lease agreement prohibited subleasing, Article 1659 directly applied, confirming that Ms. Ramirez's actions were in breach of the contract terms. If you were the legal counsel of Ms. Ramirez, what defense could you have raised? As Ms. Ramirez, legal counsel, I might argue that subleasing did not cause any harm or disrupt Mr. Santos' rights over the property. The defense could be the intent behind the lease subleasing prohibition was to protect the property value or use, not necessarily to prevent a legitimate business arrangement if the sublease had no impact on the property's condition or use. This could be a reasonable argument to suggest that the breach wasn't serious enough to warrant lease terminations. How does this case demonstrate the principle of reciprocal obligation under Article 1191? Article 1191 of the Civil Code explains the principle of reciprocal obligation, meaning both parties in a contract have duties to fulfill, and if one party breaches the contract, the other party has the right to take certain actions, including rescinding the contract. In this case, Mr. Santos had the right to terminate the lease because Ms. Ramirez failed to comply with her obligation to not sublease without consent. By failing to honor the lease term, Ms. Ramirez triggered Mr. Santos' right, dissolve the agreement, and seek legal remedy for the breach. If the list did not explicitly prohibit subleasing, would the outcome of the case have been different? Why or why not? If if the list did not explicitly prohibit subleasing, the outcome of the case could have been different. Ms. Ramirez could have argued that her subleasing action were within her rights, as they as there would have been no clear contract term prohibiting it. Without the specific clause bearing subleasing, Mr. Santos would have had less legal ground to terminate the lease, and the court might have ruled in Ms. Ramirez's favor, as there would be no violation or of agreed term. In essence, the explicit prohibition in the list gave Mr. Santos the legal basis to take action, and without it, the situation might have been more complicated.